Alright, Schlockmeisters fans, a forgotten 80s horror movie. This one's called WITCHFIRE. Let's check it out.
I want to go home. I want to go home to my mother and my father.
This is Shelley Winters. She's in a mental institution.
Lydia, your mother and your father died in a fire when you were a little girl, dear.
You can't beat them, join them, right?
Now this is Hattie. She's another
You have a new car. Do you think I could
patient.
Ride in a new car?
I'm not really used to driving it myself.
This is Dr. Larson. He's basically saying goodbye to them all because he's going on a little vacation. And as some of the beginning credits continue to roll, we see Dr. Larson rolling down the road and rolling off the road. And he's dead, and he was beloved by his patients.
There's no point in lying.
His patients are unstable.
There's certainly no use in waiting. That would only make things worse.
But they had to be informed.
I think we can probably anticipate some bizarre behavior from all of them in the next couple of weeks.
They're in denial about it.
Speeding? Of course he was.
You shut up, Hal! I'll tear your eyes out. You shut up. Listen to me, everybody. Listen! You listen. He's not dead. He's not dead! He can't be dead.
Lydia, Shelley Winters, is the leader. And I think she accepts the fact that he's gone, but she's going to find a way to bring him back using the occult. We see a few flashbacks from when Lydia was a child, and she apparently killed her parents.
What are you doing here?
So they're on the way to the funeral.
Oh, God, Lydia, you didn't forget your magic crystal, did you? It's between my tits, stupid. I told you 1,000,000 times. Why do you think I got such big tits?
Stop saying tits, Lydia. You said it twice. Sometimes you sound like a slut.
Look who's calling a slut. Oh. At least I never screwed my father.
He was my stepfather. Besides, he raped me.
He was your real father.
He raped me.
At the funeral, they get this other guy to cause a diversion. And when the orderly goes to chase him down, the three ladies use that as their opportunity.
All right, Mr. Larson, don't worry.
They manage to snatch the keys to the van,
That's right, don't worry.
and away they go. Lydia leads them to a house. Turns out, I believe this is the house that she grew up in as a child. It's abandoned now.
Will you walk into my parlor, said the spider to the fly?
Lydia always fashioned herself as a witch.
My secret place. My magic stuff. Get it out. Look, it's still here. Oh, still good like when I hid it so long ago. Here's your bat.
So they use a spell to try to bring the doctor
With your
back.
mind you kill. Walk under a ladder. Your bones will turn to matter. A lover tries to leave, and a trap for him you weave.
Hattie and Julietta talk.
I loved him too. Lydia's a good witch.
Yes, now that's none of your
Now we have a
business.
hunter and his son. The son is played by David Mendenhall from Space
What the hell
Raiders
has
and
your mother been telling you?
Over the Top.
Liz is my girlfriend. Your mother and I are divorced.
Well, my mother says that she's a money-hungry pig.
They interview the diversion guy to see if he has any information where the girls might be.
Please, Harold, listen to me. They may be in great danger. Remember you told me once that you really believe she could perform miracles.
Harold's not going to be very helpful, though. Well, after slapping his son, David ran away. David Mendenhall plays David, by the way. And so he's looking for him now. And he comes upon the abandoned house where our three witches are.
David? David, are you in there? Just
He goes on
looking
in,
for my son. I thought that he might be hiding.
sees Julietta and Hattie.
Son?
Yeah. We always just had a little argument, and
Don't be silly. We know who you are.
They think he's the reincarnated
Well,
Dr. Larson.
Oh, no. No, you don't know me. No. Are you sure you haven't seen a little boy go by here?
Want to look around?
I think I will take a little look around.
And here comes Lydia.
Listen to him. Doctor, I may be insane, but I am not stupid. We happen to know that you're not even married. You stop trying to hide. It won't do you any good.
You got the wrong guy. It's not my name.
Well, eventually David finds his way to the house, too. And he's going to discover that his dad is tied up.
Dr. Larson, shut up. And try to be polite. Julietta, come here.
Sit and sing by the spring. O-U-T spells out. O-U-T spells out. Out.
Well, David runs off, obviously. Lydia has plans for him.
See us. It'll ruin everything. We gotta catch him and kill him.
One way to go, David. Julieta's been left with him, and
I'm in pain.
he realizes she's insane, so he plays along.
I'm here to help you now. I'm here to relieve you of your pain. Because I care about you. Yes, I do.
But you don't love me, do you?
I do.
So she unties him, and I think they made love. But then he just says, I gotta go. But he's not gonna get away that easily. He manages to get away from her, but he can't get away from Lydia and her gun. So they tie him up, and she's talking about making a circle of fire and sacrificing him.
Get the dirt and the twigs. You go to the van and you get some dry leaves and gasoline.
There's a Mr. and Mrs. Jackson on the phone who picked up a lost 10-year-old boy on a country road who claims that his daddy is being held hostage by some witches with a shotgun.
Burn my parents! Yes! Burn them! Burn them! Burn them all! Burn them all! Burn them!
I'm not sure the other two are all on board with this, and I know he's not on board with it. Well, the hunter gets free, and he manages to save the two of them. And he's actually going to go back in and try to save Lydia. But I don't think he's going to find her. The house goes up in flames. Police show up. Father and son are reunited. But then
Larson!
Alright, let's talk about this movie called WITCHFIRE. This is a movie that I actually have two pre-recorded VHS tapes of it. One of them is a PAL tape from overseas. The other one is an EP speed tape from this country. I tried to burn that EP tape. My PAL VCR doesn't work anymore, but I tried to burn that EP tape, and the tape was just too shitty, and it wouldn't turn out good. So I picked up this DVD-R from another source. Let's just put it that way. And it actually looks pretty good for what it is. So anyway, the movie itself, I know this showed up on cable at least one time in the mid-'80s or so, probably late 80s, I guess. I didn't see it at the time, but I ended up learning about it, so I picked it up maybe in the early 2000s, and although I don't know if I ever watched it until today. So what we have here, there's three ladies who are in a mental hospital. Lydia, played by Shelley Winters, I forgot their names already. Hattie and Julietta, I think that was it. And the three of them love their doctor, Dr. Larson, who we don't actually see. We kind of hear him and we see his arms and stuff. We never see his face. Anyway, the doctor goes on vacation and runs his car off the road and dies, goes off a little cliff. Accident. The ladies back at the mental ward don't accept that. They think he's alive. They just loved him so much. They can't accept that he's dead, and they're in denial about it. Now, Lydia fashions herself to be some sort of witch. So I think she ultimately reluctantly accepted that he was dead, but then she decides that she's going to find a way to bring him back using witchcraft. Well, the three ladies are allowed to go to the funeral, and they have this other guy there who's also a patient, cause a diversion, and as he runs off, and then the orderly chases him, the three ladies then take that chance to steal the keys to the van, and they take off, and they free themselves, and they're gone. They end up going back to Lydia's childhood home, which is now an abandoned shack in the middle of the country somewhere, middle of the field somewhere. Turns out she'd killed her parents, which I think is why she's in this mental home. She burned them to death when she was a child. But anyway, they get there, and they have this magic spell, this book, this occult book, and they basically do some sort of ritual to try to bring him back. Well, I think it's the next day, suddenly a hunter shows up. Now, a hunter was there with his son, played by David Mendenhall. They're there to do hunting. Well, they get separated after an argument, and the hunter goes into the house, finds the ladies, and they bash him on the head. And they think he's the reincarnated Dr. Larson. He keeps telling him, no, I'm not, you got the wrong person, but they don't buy it. So anyway, David, the son, shows up, and he sees his dad in there being held, and he eventually is able to escape, get back to town until word gets to the sheriff that my father's being held captive by 3 witches. Well, eventually the cops and everything, they decide to go out there. Meanwhile, all hell is breaking loose at this house. None of these ladies have had their meds. The guy is tied up at this point, and Lydia wants to start the whole house on fire, which she does. Now, the other 2 ladies aren't quite on board with this. They manage to get out with the help of the hunter. He manages to free himself, and they all get out. Hunter goes back in to try to rescue Lydia. I don't know why he would bother, but he's unsuccessful, and he eventually runs out of the house, and he's safe too, just as the cops and his son show up, and it seems like everything's going to be fine. Then the last scene in the movie, we see a shotgun blast as Shelley Winters' face shows up, and she, I guess, shot the hunter. I don't know. She shot her gun, but who knows who she actually got. But anyway, that is Witchfire. Kind of a strange little film from 1980, 86 maybe, 88, I don't know. A forgotten film. I never saw this movie on video store shelves anywhere. Like I said, I just learned about it later on. I decided to pick it up on a whim. Like I said, not available on DVD in this country or any other country that I'm aware of. There are some DVD-Rs floating around. And of course, there are the PAL VHS tapes out there. The PAL VHS tape, the one that's in EP speed, shows up pretty regularly on eBay if you're interested in that. Again, my copy just wouldn't play well, it wouldn't track, so that's why I had to go outside to another source to find this one. But there's one brief nude scene in this movie from an actress named Vanessa Blanchard, a nice shower scene, actually. Other than that, it's just kind of an odd little strange film, but it ain't bad. Shelley Winters is over the top as usual, and there's actually some pretty funny lines in this movie. The whole thing about hiding the thing in her tits, that was funny. There's some comedy in here, so I enjoyed it. It was better than I thought it was going to be. So anyway, check it out if you can find it. Leave some comments. I wouldn't be surprised it's streaming on YouTube right now. I don't know. Check it. Look for it and leave some comments and know what you think about it. It's Witchfire. Watch it. Bye.